night Suddenly Susan co-star David Strickland took his own life. New revelations of his final hours.
I said, are you hungover? And he goes, yeah, we've been partying all night, and I just don't feel very good.
Plus, newly discovered court documents and the clues they may hold. In Love on the Job, behind-the-scenes footage of Julia Roberts' surprising TV appearance. Beautiful, young, missing. 3 college students, all from the same town, gone.
All of a sudden, you know, someone calls and your daughter's disappeared. You have no idea where she is or what's gone on.
A campus in fear.
I don't want to go anywhere alone.
And
I'm afraid of going to jail.
The price this guy is paying for buying his girlfriend's breast implants.
The court finds the defendant has been convicted.
Now, Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us. On the surface, he had everything going for him, but the suicide of actor David Strickland tells a deeper story. We learned more about the last hours of Strickland, which led to his suicide by hanging, and they reveal a very troubled young man. Stacy Sweet reports.
Thank you.
Behind the laughter of his hit sitcom Suddenly Susan, there was a dark side to David Strickland. Off-screen, the 29-year-old actor's life was tainted with serious drug use. Las Vegas station KLAS interviewed Kimberly Braddock, an exotic dancer at Vegas's Glitter Gulch Club. She said she performed for Strickland and news radio star Andy Dick just hours before Strickland ended up alone at this seedy Vegas motel.
I said, hey, aren't you the guys from news radio? And Suddenly Susan, they go, yeah. So they said, come sit down with us, have some tequila. They were having a good time.
Andy Dick's publicist confirmed the two were in Vegas, but says Dick was not drinking. She says the pair hung out until late at night when they parted ways and went to separate hotels, adding that Dick was unaware of Strickland's death until she told him after the news broke. Dick released a statement saying, quote, although I knew David for only a brief time, I very much enjoyed his company and was looking forward to a new friendship. It is a great loss. Meanwhile, Hollywood is still in shock, wondering what brought Strickland to his darkest moment.
There was no note found at the scene. One thing everybody wants to know is why.
This woman, who calls herself Carla, agreed to be interviewed only in silhouette. She says she's a prostitute who met Strickland in the lobby of the Oasis Motel. She may be the last person to have seen Strickland alive.
The last thing he said to me, there was going to be a major change in my life.
And more clues are emerging that show the actor was in a desperate hour. 3 hours before his body was found, a judge issued a warrant for his arrest. He was scheduled to be in court that day to report on his efforts to stay off of crack cocaine. People who saw Strickland on that fateful day say he seemed preoccupied.
He must have had something on his mind really weighing heavy that night, because he didn't look very happy.
The court appearance stemmed from an arrest last Halloween for crack possession. His attorney was Charles English, who's represented bad boy rocker Tommy Lee. Strickland was released on $10,000 bail, and 4 days before Christmas, he pled no contest to the charges. Court papers show his probation ordered him to not use or possess any narcotics, not to associate with drug users, submit to periodic drug tests, and attend drug counseling. Entertainment reporter Rick Joyce.
Very few people knew, including his own castmates, that he was having these problems.
It seemed that Strickland, seen here in his high school photo, had it all. A successful TV career, and most recently a blossoming movie career with a role in Forces of Nature. Strickland was also dating Beverly Hills actress Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Certainly there have been questions about him possibly being perhaps despondent over a breakup of a relationship with Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
The actress's publicist said she had no knowledge of a breakup.
You gotta hear this.
Now that we know more about how troubled Strickland was, the question still remains. Did his problems lead him down a path of self-destruction? It's a question that may never be answered.
I feel like if I would have known, I could have talked to him, I could have hung out with him. I could have changed it or something, And now I feel like, why me? Why put this on me?
meantime, while the producers of Suddenly Susan are still in shock over Strickland's death, they also have major production problems, with 2 episodes yet to shoot this season. Even if you're a hit TV show, a little extra star power never hurts. And that's exactly what Law & Order is getting soon when Julia Roberts makes a cameo. And we've got a sneak peek. Here's April Wilson.
This is exclusive footage of Julia Roberts filming in New York for the hit TV show Law & Order.
She gets arrested for murder. We're not sure if she actually committed it or not.
Why would Hollywood's highest paid actress agree to do a TV show? Well, that's simple. Max Robbins broke the story in TV Guide.
She genuinely is a fan of the show, and she's certainly a fan of one of its stars.
It seems Julia has become a member of the Brat Pack. Benjamin Bratt, that is. Julia! The 31-year-old actress and her new top cop have been arm in arm for more than a year now.
Come on.
The last time this pretty woman took to the small screen, it was to play opposite her then-boyfriend, Matthew Perry, on Friends.
Why don't you call me in 20 years and tell me if you're still upset about this?
Now it's on to Ben's show.
Hey, come on over. The coast is clear.
We don't want to give the plot away, so suffice it to say that Julia becomes a suspect in a sex murder and then turns her charms on Brat.
Her appearance on this show certainly is going to help its ratings. It's a hit already, but that night she'll make it a little bit more of a hit.
The May 5th episode is also the show's 200th, and the cast celebrated that milestone with a party at a New York night spot.
My character sends him out upstate with her.
I'm excited about it.
We're almost as excited as Benjamin is. We love her.
And from New York City to San Luis Obispo, California, which is about halfway from LA to San Francisco. In that city, 3 college girls are mysteriously missing. As Craig Rivera reports, their disappearances over the past 3 years have some wondering if there is a serial killer preying on attractive young co-eds.
It's just a never-ending nightmare.
She may be the victim of foul play.
I don't want to go anywhere alone.
They are 3 beautiful young college co-eds, and they all vanished almost without a trace from San Luis Obispo, California.
They all have similar looks. They're all fair-skinned, light-colored hair. They're all around the same age.
20-year-old Cuesta College student Andrea Lynn Crawford is the latest student to disappear from this quiet college town. She is the 3rd young student to vanish mysteriously in the last 3 years.
It's hard to explain how gut-wrenching it is. You know, something's just torn out of your family.
Police say Crawford was abducted from her home on or about March 10th, just 4 months after Rachel Newhouse, a student at California Polytech State University, was reported missing. Newhouse was last seen walking along this footbridge late at night, November 12th, after a night of partying at a Mexican restaurant. A small amount of her blood was found on the bridge.
It's a terrifying thought to think that, you know, someone who is that close really in description could fall prey to something like this.
3 years ago, another student from the same college as Rachel Newhouse, freshman Kristen Smart, also vanished without a trace. Stan Smart is Kristen's father.
We've not been able to find her remains. We don't believe she's alive.
Despite similarities, there are differences as well. In the case of Kristen Smart, police identified a suspect, but he was never charged. Police have played down fears that the 3 young women may have been victims of a serial killer, but those assurances are little comfort for students here.
I work at night, and so now I make sure that I have someone come and pick me up and walk me back because I don't want to go anywhere alone.
It's usually at night when girls are walking to parties and stuff. They get taken, they're drunk, you know, try not to do that by yourself.
San Luis Obispo is known for having the 2nd lowest crime rate among college towns in California. But the recent disappearances have shaken the nerves of one longtime resident.
I think it's just sad about hearing things like that.
America's Most Wanted recently ran a segment on the 3 cases, and last month the FBI began re-interviewing students and staff who were at the college when Smart disappeared.
If he's done this once, maybe he'll do it again.
For relatives of the 3 young women, there is little they can do but hope and pray for a break in the case. They hope the recent media focus of the murder of 2 sightseers in Yosemite National Park may prompt witnesses to come forward and help investigators learn more about what happened to their loved ones.
It's just horrible that it could be all just taken away, you know, in a senseless way.
In light of the disappearances, police in San Luis Obispo have warned students, as many already are, not to travel alone at night.
Still to come on Inside Edition. He bought his girlfriend breast implants, but they came with a price he never expected. For the first time,
please welcome my wife, Mavis Leno.
Jay Leno's wife appears on The Tonight Show.
So this is where you go every night?
The inside story on Mrs. Jay Leno.
This is like our first date again. That's right.
And
would you take a good look at us, please?
They were the hippest cops on 70s TV. Whatever happened to Starsky and Hutch?
I think you're really enjoying this.
Here they are. Thank you. Inside Edition with Deborah Norville will be right back.
Hey, honey.
Hi.
Hey, what happened to the rest of the honey baked ham?
It's not all there? Maybe some of it just fell off in the car. When it goes out into the cold, it shrinks sometimes. Probably just gave me the wrong one. What?
It's half-eaten.
Yeah.
This Easter, make it the honey-baked ham. One taste and you, too, may fall under its spell.
You don't think it was me?
Harrah's Phoenix Ak-Chin Casino is the place to go for the best mix of games, great entertainment, incredible food, and lots of cash. Come into Harrah's during March Money Mania for your chance to win up to $10,000 every Wednesday night starting March 10th. The more you play, the more chances you have to win. So hurry into Harrah's today, then get ready to win. Call 1-800-HARRAHS.
It's spring. You can see it all around. And you can taste it at Bash's Markets with Campbell's Spring Dinner Ideas. Easy to prepare dishes like slim and savory vegetables in Swanson's chicken broth. Pasta with Prego's new roasted red pepper and garlic sauce. And an Easter green bean bake made with cream of mushroom soup. Look for the Campbell's display and check the March 17th ad to save on Campbell's brands. Come into Bash's Markets and get a taste of spring with Campbell's.
We are shaking things up at Coco's.
You've had steak and shrimp, but not with our Cajun spices. Ah, steak and shrimp mixed grill. Coco's introduces some great new dishes.
Tell me, you ever seen fresh fish look this good?
It's new Thai chicken fettuccine.
Delicious.
And our mouth-watering Greek salad with chicken, as well as Coco's classics. For a limited time, our complete prime rib dinner with super salad is just $8.99. Coco's, where taste is the main ingredient.
She called 3 on your side because of a bad investment. But then the guy who took her money called the police on us. At 6:10, see what happened and get your own tips on investing on Good Evening Arizona.
Imagine sunscreen that you don't rub on, instead zip up. At 5:40, I'll show you a new line of clothing with built-in sun protection.
You could win $1,000 and be an overnight star just by putting your mug on videotape. Find out how on Good Evening Arizona from 4:30 to 6:30 on 3 TV.
Call it a love story for the 90s. A couple of kids so crazy for each other, he'd risk jail to give her the body she'd always wanted. Steve Gendell on Judgment Day for the guy who used his mom's credit card for a most unusual gift.
Michael is one of the sweetest guys I've ever met, one of the sweetest people I've ever met.
If love makes you crazy, then last year Michael Kopp really lost his mind, and now he's paying for it.
I'm afraid of going to jail.
It appears that you were kind of blinded by young love.
Michael and his attorney, Michael C. Grunda, prepared to go to court for an act of love that stunned his mother.
I need a roof, and this young girl around the corner has breasts. Big breasts.
That's right. Michael bought his 18-year-old girlfriend breast implants, and he paid for them with a credit card that wasn't his to use. And his mom was so outraged by what he did that she called the cops.
At the time, I wasn't really thinking. I mean, it seemed like a good idea. And
it all started when Michael's girlfriend, Michelle Pauley, thought her dreams of acting and modeling far from her hometown outside Cleveland, Ohio, would get a boost from bigger breasts.
We talked about it, and, you know, it was something she really wanted.
Yeah, it's, worked out.